defend because he committed himself there with that attack, and his micro let him down a little bit, but it looks like Luxury's going to try and flank here from the right-hand side of the map. He's going up to that 3 o'clock position. He's got his units positioned there. He's going to try and go around the rear and hopefully try and catch Hwasin off guard while Hwasin commits himself to an attack. And Hwasin, I don't know if he's scouted that 4 o'clock base yet, because if he has, that would be the place for him to go. But one of the advantages that this Terran player can do is if he can set up a contain on the Zerg player in his main, then he can dominate the rest of the map. Hwasin's got a dropship out as well. Luxury is going for an attack at his natural expo, so we're going to see counter-attacking play by both players here. And Hwasin obviously putting his dropship back. He's going to be forced to lift that command center. Luxury coming in with loads of lurkers. He's not going to do too much damage to Hwasin's economy, but he's going to slow Hwasin down because Hwasin is now going to have to go back to clear that out. And I think Luxury's probably going to be able to forced to pull those lurkers back and try and pincer Hwasin's unit, but Luxury isn't doing that. He's just content to set up that container and prevent Hwasin. And I'm not sure if Luxury actually saw that dropship because Hwasin did pull it back quite early, so Luxury might not be aware of that dropship. Luxury has got decent force and he's pulling some of those forces back. He's now seen that dropship. If he hasn't seen it before, I think he's probably seen it now, and that's why he's pulling those lurkers back. Hwasin is going to be able to effect a drop, and Luxury sent in 4 Hydralisks, and he still left a few lurkers behind, and that command center is coming under fire. I think it's probably going to survive just about. Unfortunately for Hwasin, that dropship is going to come as a surprise, but the problem for Luxury is how is he going to defend that 4 o'clock expo against Hwasin. Hwasin now coming in for the drop. Hwasin's actually going to drop in Luxury's main, but Luxury's got Zerglings and Hydralisks waiting for it there, and unfortunately not a very clinical attack by Hwasin. He loses most of the American Marines that he dropped there. He managed to pull his dropship back in time, but it wasn't a very clinical attack because that dropship was scouted out, and Luxury's still nowhere near getting definers. He's still on the lair. He still hasn't built his hive up. That command center just about survives. Hwasin manages to save it. Luxury with the 1 lurker still delaying, and that's the only advantage that Luxury is continuing to build up an economic advantage in this game. But at the same time, Hwasin has got his hands around Luxury's neck. He's camped outside Luxury's base. The sunken line is effectively gone. There's only 1 sunken remaining, and the only thing that's standing between Luxury and certain death are those 4 lurkers, which Hwasin is irradiating away. And Hwasin, I haven't seen Luxury kill too many science vessels, but it looks like Hwasin still only got the 1 science vessel. Hwasin now pushing out again with another group of American Marines, finally securing his national expo. Now Hwasin coming in with a drop of that 4 o'clock expo. He's finally discovered it. A drop against that would have been much more effective early on. Luxury, brilliant by Luxury, bringing in the Scourges just in time, takes the dropship down, and then the Zerglings are going to take the Marines down, and clearly a Hwasin fan in the audience, not pleased. You could see the grin. Well, it wasn't really a grin. You could see the grimace, actually, of displeasure and pain on the fan of Hwasin, on Hwasin's fan. That girl taking the pain as if it was her own at Hwasin's dropship getting taken down. Luxury once again pushing in with about 5 lurkers on that bridge. Once again putting pressure on Hwasin's natural expo. And Hwasin is in huge trouble here. Because he's camped outside Luxury's base, Luxury is able to go and put these pressure attacks on Hwasin. Hwasin coming in, trying to take those lurkers down. He's not going to be able to do that. He's got the scan off, but the scan is now worn off, and now his SCVs are coming under fire. He's forced to pull those siege tanks down. He wasn't able to take it up, and that command center is burning as well. He's going to be forced to lift that command center in again, and this is an epic matchup between these 2 players. Now he's going to bring the science vessel out to use the siege boat to try and clear those lurkers out. But meanwhile, Luxury coming in with reinforcements, once again trying to push again. He's going to be able to use the British advantage because it is a narrow corridor, and those Marines, American Marines, aren't able to get a spread, and the siege tanks are right within range of those lurkers, so this is horrible for Hwasin. He's using most of his ground force here. He's losing most of his ground forces. Luxury is going to be able to break through once again, and Luxury continuing to come in with more and more reinforcements, just keep arriving for Luxury. He has pushed in past that bridge. Hwasin doesn't have any siege tanks to hit those lurkers with. Luxury, I don't think, was able to take the science vessel down, but he has lost that 4 o'clock expo, and that's going to hurt him big time. But Luxury continuing to be very, very aggressive against Hwasin. Brilliant play by him, but Hwasin looks like he has held his defense and secured his natural expo. And even though Luxury did a lot of damage to Hwasin's forces there, I'm not sure if that is really gonna pay out for him. He's now lost his lurkers. He once again managed to pick up the science vessel using the Zerglings as a screen against those American Marines. But this is a great battle between these 2 players. But the pendulum just about looks like it might be swinging back in Hwasin's favor, because Hwasin has now secured his natural expo. He's pushed out with the siege tanks and American Marine force in the middle of the map. He's taken out that 4 o'clock expansion of Luxury's, and even though Luxury has delayed Hwasin getting that natural expo down, Luxury really needed to get that 3rd expo up and running. Hwasin now scouting around with that SCV, trying to find out exactly where Luxury might have positioned that 3rd expo, but Hwasin now, it seems to me, has got the superior force in the middle of the map. Luxury has lost a lot of army, and he hasn't really upgraded his tech much. He's got a decent group of lurker ling in the middle of the map, but Hwasin has got control with those American Marines and those science vessels, and now he's going to be able to maraud around with them to try and pick off Luxury's units. And Luxury has a couple of Hydralisks again to try and take that science vessel down. He gets one of his lurkers raided. He has got a decent group of lurkers in, but Luxury needs to try and secure that third expo. It looks like Luxury might have actually tried and gone for an expo at the 3 o'clock base, and I'm not sure if Hwasin has scouted that. Hwasin has to know that Luxury must be trying to get an expo down somewhere, because he knows that it's crucial for Luxury if he's going to be able to do anything in this match. Luxury not using Scourges, instead using Hydra this time. I think that's a clever play, because the Terran player runs backwards with the Medic and Marines against the lurkers, and the Zerg player can use that, and Luxury has got +1 Carapace upgrade, and the Zerg player can use that against the group, against the Medic and Marines while they're in retreat against the lurkers to do some damage. And that Science Vessel almost getting picked up, and Luxury needed one more hit to take that Science Vessel down. It survives, and Hwasin is forced to retreat, but Luxury has now secured that 4 o'clock expansion. He should be able to put an expansion on at that 4 o'clock position, but Luxury of course is going to be pushed. Hwasin of course is going to push with those siege tanks out, and that's the advantage, that's the ability. Normally you wouldn't see Hydralisk being used against Terran player by Zerg, but when the Terran player leaves his siege tanks camped and pushes out with the Medic and Marines, that gives the Zerg player an opportunity to actually make use of those Hydralisks, and Luxury with some really clever unit combination there. You wouldn't expect to see Hydra Lurker Ling normally in Terran versus Zerg. Now Hwasin's going to go against that expansion at the 8 o'clock position, which is relatively undefended for Luxury. Luxury meanwhile trying to go for a counterattack on Hwasin's National Expo, and Luxury has got an Overlord hovering behind the mineral line, so he might be able to get a couple of lurkers in there and harass Hwasin's mineral line, but meanwhile Hwasin looks like he's going to take this expansion down at the 8 o'clock position. Luxury doesn't look like he's got anything to defend. Hwasin is going to get those lurkers down, but Luxury is going to get those lurkers down, but it's a simple matter for Hwasin of scanning with the siege tank, and immediately the 3 siege tanks position in anticipation of that take that lurker down. And now Luxury is in a difficult spot here, because he's actually fighting an uphill battle up the ramp against Luxury's forces, and Luxury comfortably kills that expo. Hwasin comfortably kills that expo, but Luxury's going to try and at least take these Medic and Marines down and make Hwasin pay in the price of these Medic and Marines, as well as hopefully that Science Vessel. Hwasin's going to try and sneak around the left-hand side of the map, and it looks like he's going to try and effect an escape there. Luxury's going to try and trap him. Hwasin's going to do as much damage as he can with his Medic and Marine group before it gets taken down, and Luxury obviously with the economy to be able to do this, but I think Luxury still doesn't have a third base. I thought Luxury had a base. I can't tell from looking at the minimap, because the resolution is slightly low, whether or not Luxury has an expansion down at the 3 o'clock base, because if he doesn't, he's still fighting with 2 gas, and I think he probably must have 3 gas if he's able to afford so many Hydralisks and Lurkers. And Luxury with the Hydralisks and the Lurkers is going to take down. He's going to take the Science Vessel down as well. Hwasin trying to run away with the Science Vessel. Once again, the Science Vessel just about survives. Hwasin so lucky, continuing to keep that Science Vessel just about alive, and one Scourge could have done wonders for Luxury there, but obviously he's expending all of his gas, and now it looks like Hwasin with the Medic and Marine group marauding is attacking that 3 o'clock position, but Luxury actually does not have an expansion here, so Luxury's attempts to get a third expansion up, even though Luxury has been holding his own against Hwasin, Hwasin is getting stronger and stronger in this matchup, and I think Luxury might have level 2 Carapace upgrades down. Luxury looks like he's going for a break in the middle here. He's going to try and take those siege tanks down. Hwasin with the D-Matrix on the siege tank, but he's going to lose the first siege tank. Luxury with masses of Hydralisks. Hwasin just doesn't have enough Medic and Marines. The siege tanks are almost going to get taken down, and Luxury is now going to be able to get those lurkers right in range of the siege tanks. He needs to move those Hydralisks in as well. Hwasin's got reinforcement coming in the form of Medic and Marines. He's going to take the lurkers out, and Luxury's going to have a small group of Hydralisks left. He's going to kill off the tanks, and now he's going to take out the Medic and Marines as well, and Hwasin's going to be forced to retreat into his National Expo. So now finally Luxury's going to have a chance to try and rebuild and get another expansion going. Hwasin though continues to attack, and Hwasin has got an expansion up, it looks like, at the 4 o'clock, at the 10 o'clock base, and Luxury trying to get in there with his 5 or 6 Hydralisks. Hwasin sending reinforcements in the form of Marines, and now those SCVs coming out. Luxury's going to do some damage to Hwasin's economy here, and he managed to take about 4 or 5 SCVs. At the most he's going to be able to force a lift on the command center though. Luxury now sending in a group of Hydralisks, because Hwasin has sent a skeleton group down to prevent Luxury from putting that expansion down at that 8 o'clock base, and now Hwasin running behind Luxury's base with that group of small Medic and Marines and Medics, but Luxury with the Hydralisks, and this is really strange to see Hydralisks coming up against Medic and Marines. You don't normally see that, but Luxury has been able to fight quite effectively with that, and he has pushed Hwasin back. Hwasin again with the 3 Science Vessels down, and Luxury needs to take the Science Vessels down if he's going to do something about this, and now Hwasin again forced to lift that command center, but he's going to be able to defend that command center with the siege tank on the top of the ramp, but I think Luxury for now will be content with just forcing Hwasin back a little bit. Luxury really fighting hard against this, but I still fear for the Zerg player, because again, he hasn't got his tech up, he hasn't got that hive tech going. If he had the hive tech, he would be in a much stronger position, but he's been forced to expend all of his gas and all of his resources on this unique build that we're seeing from Luxury, and therefore he isn't really able to get that hive tech going, but he's now finally, looks like, again trying to take that 8 o'clock position. He needs to put a couple of lurkers up on that ramp. I really think Luxury needs to invest in a couple of lurkers, and if he had invested in a couple of lurkers on that ramp earlier on in the game, I don't think he would have lost that position so easily. Once again, Luxury attacking that 8 o'clock position, not minding the high ground advantage against Hwasin, trying to stop Hwasin from getting that expansion down. He's got a couple of lurkers in the middle map running away from Hwasin's advancing force of 3 science vessels and about a full control group of medic and marines. Looks like Luxury has again prevented Hwasin from getting that expansion down, and that's crucial for Luxury because he cannot afford to give the Terran player a tech lead. Hwasin now with the scans. We're just looking at, Hwasin's first person view mode, and he's seen that Luxury's put that expansion down back at the 8 o'clock position, and surely Hwasin's going to try and attack there. Luxury, I'm sure if he's seen that ComStat scan, now pulling those now pulling those hydras back. I need to take a sip of water here, guys. My throat getting parched from that commentary. But Luxury now, obviously having seen that ComStat scan, pulling back towards that 8 o'clock position, and this is crucial. Hwasin loses 2 of his SCVs. He's going to lose a 3rd SCV as well. Luxury kills the 3 SCVs. Brilliant by Luxury. He plants the Hydralisk down in the middle, anticipating Hwasin pushing out against that base, and Hwasin's SCV running just that little bit ahead, probably trying to irradiate in-place lurkers in the middle of the map. Obviously, he had to run the SCVs ahead of the Mutalisks, of the medic and marines in anticipation of burrowed lurkers, because he didn't want his medic and marines to get caught up. And Hwasin, in his haste to try and take that 8 o'clock expansion down, lost 3 of his science vessels, and that put Luxury right back in this game. Hwasin looks like he's floating his command center back over. And Hwasin actually, it looks like Luxury might have killed Hwasin's command center, because it looks like Hwasin's main is mined out, and that's the command center that's now being floated over towards that 10 o'clock expansion. Meanwhile, Luxury coming in with a group of lurkers and Hydralisks, and he's going to try and take that science vessel down. He managed to land 1 Scourge against. He's going to push Hwasin back again. Hwasin doesn't have siege tank support for his medic and marines. He's going to lose his medic and marine group because those Hydralisks still aren't in range of siege tanks, and Luxury is really holding his own here. He's doing really well. Actually, you would have to say Luxury in a really strong position now against Hwasin. Hwasin continuing to be pushed back, but he's going to have that second